So you can get an idea about myself. I'm the co-host, co-founder, and CEO of a small company which is focusing on teams and adoption and about change management in combination. We are based in Germany. The name of the company is Into Success. I'm an Microsoft MVP for Office apps and services, and keep that in the mind when we talk about Power Virtual Agents. I will talk about why this is not important, but this is something maybe you can get a better idea why this topic is so amazing for me. So what I do is usually Microsoft Teams topics, and what I do is usually Teams projects with voice deployments, telephony deployments, and I do have some hobbies, some very specific parts like traveling, but community is a big part for me, and of course the Microsoft technology. So I'm eager to see new technology, try them out, and get an idea about the stuff behind that. For this reason, I'm also running the user group, Teams user group Germany, and hosting a German-speaking video podcast, which is called Talk Microsoft 365. I'm located in a little bit of south of Munich in Germany, and I'm really happy to be here. So let's get into the topics for today. I would like to start with a short introduction about PVA, and I will use PVA and Power Virtual Agents. It stands for the same. I will talk about the licenses because there's a huge difference and important thing to think about when we talk about licenses. Use cases, what is PVA good for, and the general principles for the PVA development. Last but not least, I will do a quick demo, and the overall plan is to have some Q&A after 45 minutes. Okay. Has anybody of you already experiences with PVA? So please raise the hand if you have some experiences. I will take a look into the audience to get an idea. So, okay. I mentioned before I'm not the typical programmer, Power Platform MVP who's dealing with the whole stuff about Power Platform, but I use it on a daily basis for customers, for internal work. And my initial idea about PVA was it looks like something complex like this. There's a framework with multiple channels, with multiple services behind that. I need to know the APIs, the SDKs, and that was the first afraiding moment for me. I was scared, to be honest, because I'm not a programmer, right? I'm not the guy who's sitting into tons of code, lines of code, and doing some work with them. So I was pretty happy to understand PVA is not a real coding part. It's actually a easy to use framework for bot creation. And it's a bit different. We have two different options. One is PVA in Teams, where you can create internal bots. And the other one is PVA via web apps. And the web apps provide a complete different focus. No, not completely. We will see it in the licenses on the next slide. But the idea is you get PVA in Teams to enable all your internal users to use a bot pretty easy. And most users, most advanced users, are able to use PVA on their own without any guidance from the IT. And the other one is PVA within a web app. So you can call it on a website like your company homepage with something like help bot to answer some questions and get into contact and maybe do a pre identification for some issues, pre-leveling to address it to the right people. And this is more for experienced admins. So it's not for a regular user because you have to understand how everything works. And oh, I think someone catched up the presentation. So let me get it back. And this one. Okay, you can see the PVA slide again?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good. So this is also for more complex scenarios, right? So it's not for the easy process helping scenario. It's more for the complex scenarios when you entry some workflows, some use cases, maybe on a public level for, as I mentioned before, with a company website. Okay, and because of these differences, we have some different licenses or kinds of licenses. And these are also connected to different features. So the first of all is we do have Microsoft 365 subscription and a traditional standalone PVA license. The first one is connected to your actual license like E3 or E5 if available. And the other one is a standalone license, which is used for the more complex scenarios. So you can do pretty much the same for the team's perspective. But when you start with the E3 subscription, for example, and you get the PVA part in it, then you have some limits over there. And these are not so obvious because the interface is pretty much the same, but the license in the backend is completely different. So the creation of a bot for a channel is available in both. The connectors are limited. In the subscription, you can use only standard connectors, sorry, and premium connectors is for the bigger license only. Also, the part of security, you can create some secrets to use it as an application in the backend. Get access to the bot on an external site via the secret key. It's not available for the M365 subscription, but in the PVA standalone license. And last but not least, the complex picture you have seen before was basically the Azure Bot framework. And the Azure Bot framework is something you can train, you can create for your own needs and bring them as a general framework to other bots. And this is not possible to connect these skills with a general license, but you can use it for the bigger license when you get PVA. Okay. For the use cases, sometimes it needs a little bit of a initial idea why it's necessary, or maybe a good point to create a bot like this. And one is the most obvious. You can create a bot without any programming experience. That's also the reason why I've been in touch with this and why I'm really happy to get my experience with that, because PVA opens me some use cases for other people who are, in the IT, but have had no idea how to address life cycle, how to address governance, how to address policies they currently have for the users. So IT could create a really simple workflow with PVA and address it via a bot directly to the users instead of creating a document or create some technical boundaries where the users get some errors or they need to know a complex process. You can create a bot who's working with all your policies, your governance rules, and the user is guided by the bot by the right questions. And of course, if you have some users in the different departments like HR who are more IT experienced, they can build their own bots, for example, for a leaving process, to bring it into the different departments or the whole organization. And on the next point, it's not or between IT and departments. Also, the IT can help to bring some departments in a situation where they can enable or create their own bots. And if they are not able to do it, they can be together in a workshop or whatever meeting and sit together. Someone from the HR department or sales department is describing the process. The IT can build up this process on a visual basis with PVA. And you can see it and they understand it way easier. So they can help the IT to create something which helps the departments. Okay. There are some principles to use PVA. And the most obvious is create one. Yes, that sounds too easy, but it is quite easy. So the first step is to create a bot. You may create some advanced steps in it. You use some advanced features. I will show you in a couple of minutes. And you can get some insights for your users. You can publish the bot, and after the publishment, analyze the usage. So you have to see what's going on with my bot. What's happened with my bot? Is this okay? Are the users using it well? Have I created it well? Because if the users ask the bot different questions which are not in the focus of your bot and the bot is not able to answer it, then it fails. You get an error message. It's not a good user experience, but you can see it in an Analyze tab, and you can adjust your bot to minimize these issues. Good. And the next one is the demo part. Let me just jump over to the right browser, because it's Teams, so I'm able to use it in my browser as well as my full instance Teams. And here we go. Okay, the first of all is when you try to use Teams to address Power Virtual Agents, the best way is to install the personal app. So I hope the IT allowed the installation of PVA. It's something you can configure on the administrative side from Teams perspective. If it's not already in this overview, you can go to more apps, go to the App Store. There's already a bot enabled, but Power Virtual Agents, just click it, install it, and you have a personal app, which brings you on the left side in the menu to the general entry point. You get some reference articles which helps you to understand what's going on, what is a good entry point for your bot creation, also some external links with the whole documentation. That should point to powervirtualagent.microsoft.com. Okay, to the right docs article. Okay, when you start to create a bot via Teams, it's pretty straightforward. You can go to start now, and you can address it to a specific team. Let's go to this one, continue. And in this team, you will get the bot available. So, this way around. Okay, let's go for English. The bot gets some default settings in the background when you start the creation process. And the default settings are good for the first step, but they are pretty basic. So you definitely have to adjust it for your own needs. And when you start with the bot creation, you have a kind of trigger to get in touch with the bot. In the interface, you start right away with a welcome page. And on the left side, you see a test bot, which is available either by this button on the bottom side, or yeah, you can shut down disable it here. This is the best way to verify your bot before you publish it. Okay, there are some other points over here, and it really depends on your needs for the bot creation. You remember the first step, creation, and that the second step, advanced creation. It's basically related to these different points here. Let's take a look into entities. Entities are some points in your hold on a second. I hope to bring it a bit. No, it's not. Okay. It's something like types, natural types, something you would like to address, like yeah, like city. This is a type of variable. This is something you can specify upfront. You can specify age, Boolean, which is just yes and no. And these types are all of them are pre-built, and you can create a new one if you need something which is related to your bot, something specific which doesn't match to any pre-configured type of variable. This is the first one. The other one is there are some topics, and these topics are more or less the default settings, and they have different types over here. You can see this is a system topic, which is basically a preset of flow in your, not a flow from Power Automate, not bring, I don't want to confuse it here. This is something which is a closed, predefined handling of a specific step. In this part, greeting. You can see some trigger phrases which are responsible for the trigger. Otherwise, if you don't hit the trigger, you will never run into this process part here. Escalate, goodbye, start over, thank you, and that's okay. Why this is different to the other ones here on the top is these system topics you can use for within your bot, and they're predefined. You can get the default behavior, and let's see what's going on when I type good afternoon. And these answers are just the predefined answers within this process step. You can use them, you can adjust them via the canvas, and but you're not allowed to disable them. So it's optional for the usage, but it's not for disabling them. The other ones are some training, some entry points for you to get an idea about the bot framework. Sorry, the PVA. And let's start with a new one over here. Okay, I start with a new topic, give them a name. My process will be a Teams creation. Okay, friendly name, description is optional. As mentioned before, the trigger phrase is something you need to address it, to address the part, this topic. So create a team. And also create a team because it's case sensitive. If you don't have a case sensitive configured as a trigger phrase, you may run into an issue. Okay. Let's hit save here. And then go for the actual process behind that. So I've specified some trigger phrases. And when I'm interested to, to add some more, I can go to the upper right side to the options, and depending on the point here, which it looks pretty much the same as Power Automate flow. Sorry, too sensitive. You get the chance to add some or change some options depending on the point on the option you've selected to work with. Okay, so the trigger phrase. Welcome to the Teams creation. Okay. Good. You can see it's currently the indicator I'm working on it. And then you get you can add another note. You can ask some questions, add a condition, call an action. And this is something we will take a look into in a couple of minutes. Show a message like this one here and go to another option. to another topic. Here you can see the different predefined topics. So it's not only you can create a huge bot in a single workflow, you can create some small steps, some small different questions, challenges, trigger words, and you can create a more complex virtual agent by create a small piece, like in a programming way, you would like to create a function, handle everything in this, and then you start with another one as the next step, because this maybe last thing in your bot would be the reference to another topic. And you can use different topics depending on the answers you've got. Okay, let's continue with this. I would like to ask a question. What's the name of the team? And within this question, you can see the identify is basically the types you have specified before. If you expect the format would be an H or a Boolean or an email or organizations. So this identify is basically the different options the user has to answer your question. In my case, I would like to just get the entire response. You've seen the node change to accept a variable. And you may have seen this pen symbol. You can change it as team name over here. Okay. And the usage will be in this topic. Okay, that's fine for me. Let's do the same for what's the description? Sorry. Once again, I would like to get a full answer. Okay. Good. Let's hit save in the meantime. Okay. The next one would be, I've got the information. I've saved it in variables. What I'm currently missing is what's going on with these topics. And therefore, I can use the call in action. And you may have seen it before. There is something which is called create a flow. Launches Power Automate. That's actually the thing I would like to do, because the bot is not able to complete some backend stuff like create actually the team or change permissions. So I hit the button and the point is changing to Power Automate. And you see it's not the full Power Automate overview with every capability of Power Automate. You can see some specific scenarios, some specific connector and pre-configured handlings in Power Automate. In my case, I would like to just use the first one because I just want to interact with the Power Virtual Agent. And that's basically the two buttons here. One is for the entry, one is for the exit and handover information. But you can use it as also with a Teams interaction, so you can send a message or an adaptive card to a specific team. Okay, for my case, it's okay to use the different, just this one. Okay. And as mentioned before, you have a field with a Power Virtual agent within your specific flow, which allows you to get some input fields. And this input would be my name of the team and the description. Okay. Team's name. Let's do it this way. Let me add another one because I was looking for the description as well. Add the description. Okay. And then you get the actually doing the actual part in your flow. So the idea was to create a team. Okay, so this is Power Automate default stuff. Go for teams, go for create a team. Yes, I'm signing in. I'm just calling the regular connectors you're familiar from the Power Automate perspective. There's no magic behind that. And you're familiar with Power Automate. You get the handover information over here. So I would like to use this variable from the agent. That's straightforward, I think. And I can give some information back to the whole flow, sorry, to the agent, to maybe post some messages like reply. The new team with name was created. Hey, where is it? There it is. Okay, and now hit save. It's currently saving. You can see I'm still in the interface in Teams, in Power Virtual Agents, but with the Power Automate information. Okay, context. Let's hit close. And in my first idea, I was thinking, okay, it's added now, but it's not. But it's available. Oh, I haven't renamed it. Sorry. It's this one. Let's go back to that. Edit, and I have to name it here. Create a team in PVA. Save. Close. One more time. Add an action. And here you are. Create a team. Because I've specified some input values for the flow coming from the PVA, I'm able to select something which is available in this PVA. So I send it outside. I already got the reply field here, and that's good. So I can add another message. Team. No. Don't go for the typing part here because it's already mentioned in the flow. I just use the variable here, hit reply, and say, okay, that's good. Now, let me point you to another option, which is called add a condition. And a condition you can use for your idea is some kind of input valid. Okay, so maybe go for team name has no value. Then let's go to start over. Another condition could be let's note with that. The description has no value. Okay. Then go to another topic, end the conversation, whatever. So in this scenario, it doesn't make sense, but it gives you an idea about the checking point here. And now it maybe doesn't make sense to do it after all these parts here. So let's go to this button and let's rearrange this. Well, this action should actually not going like this. Come on. Okay. I'm doing something wrong here. Definitely. And I don't get it actually what's the point is. That's not how it should be. Okay, so maybe delete it after here, delete it this one, and go to another topic. Maybe end the conversation. So what I can do is, and that was actually the part I would like to show you here, is I can arrange them by point and click to another option. But it's not working as I did before. Okay. Come on. Good. And let's go with this one to get the note here. I can change my process actually via this way, and it doesn't make sense. Breaks it again. Yeah. So the idea is I can rearrange the connections to establish the right path for my bot. So now save it. Test the bot. Create a team with the name. So you can see the process running through the different steps. And you can basically go here, Global Power Bootcamp. I've sent it to the bot. He's doing the action part right now. Takes a little while because the creation of the team takes 30 seconds. And then you get to the next answer here. The new team with the name GPB India was created. And now I'm in the end of conversation part, which is a predefined workflow. Yes, that answers my question. I can rate this. So you see, it's nothing coming from me. It's part of from the other topic. No thanks. So I end it. And the team is created as well in the backend. Okay. I've been in this one, I think. Okay. And now the bot is running, and I would like to publish it because now it's, yeah, basically not available for everyone. I hit the publish button, pretty straightforward, and will be for the users in a few minutes. I can share it, which is basically just information. I can submit it for an admin approval to share it with a whole organization or with a specific team. So when I send it to an admin approval, yes, send it. I can give it some context if something special should happen. Change the color. Okay, send it. Yes, I would like to give everyone access. That's good. Sorry, admin.teams. And the Teams administrator can see the app. Which has been sent as to approve. Here it is. It's one. Okay, that's the one which is already published. Okay. Ah, okay. It was not named created, it was named demo. Okay. And here you are. The status is just submitted. Let me publish it. Yes. So this one should change. Okay. And now it should be available. It's not yet available. Okay. But basically it will be available like this as a separate app. You can add to your team, to your as a personal app. This is pretty much the same. I just played a little bit with that, and yeah, that's also my part for the demo. The rest is basically just the part for questions. I've seen a raised hand, at least one. I don't know who was the first, so Akash, would you like to start?